Oh yeah, I'm wearing my
Adam,
muscle suit.
got the mirror
Nice.
glasses.
Oh yeah,
Alright.
how's that?
My job is done. Everybody have fun. I see you
Thanks,
later.
buddy.
See you later. Yeah.
Bye, Paul. It was so
Bye,
nice to
Paul.
see you.
Bye, Hazel.
Bye,
Call
Paul.
me
Good to see you again, mate.
I'll meet you guys for dinner.
Thanks for nothing.
What do you mean? I said what? Thanks for nothing. All the thanks.
But a good time. You
You're
didn't let me
smart.
finish.
What?
I said thanks for nothing, but a good time.
Yeah. You're buying dinner tonight.
I am done with dinner.
All right. Goodbye.
See you.
These are keys.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
I'll call Victor. Tell him you'll call them when you're done.
Wake me up when you're ready.
Okay. All right.
I'm glad I didn't start my intro.
Okay. There we go.
Paul's like, wait, let me get out of here.
Listen up, Vegas. Welcome to the Slaughterhouse.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Slaughterhouse. Today with me is my special guests, Kelly Slaughter daughter Remus, and the legend, the real American hero, Sgt Slaughter.
Yo, Joe. Yo, Joe. As you were.
Very
Hey,
good.
Dad.
Hey, how you doing? Where are you
How
at?
are you?
Back at the Slaughter daughter house?
Back at the Slaughter daughter house. Hey,
Right.
Hazel.
Hello, thanks for coming onto the show, guys. Super appreciate it. There's only a small amount of Sgt Slaughter news that has broken recently. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. Oh yes, a new GI Joe.
Yo, Joe.
Yo, Joe. So yeah, I mean, probably the best kept, worst kept secret in the history of Sgt Slaughter. I mean, everyone wants a classified scale Sgt Slaughter.
You know, it was 3 years ago that we started talking to the representatives of Hasbro and G.I. Joe. And it took about 6 months to make everything happen, and then we had to sign a release of non-exclusive. We couldn't tell anybody. You know how hard that is for 2.5, 3
Non-disclosure,
years.
you mean?
I couldn't tell anybody, and I one time made a mistake. You were probably watching that virtual.
Yeah.
April. I caught hell.
Yeah,
on
I
the
bet.
Hasbro big wheels.
Yeah.
How come he mentioned that he was up in Pawtucket, Rhode Island? He should
Yeah,
have
yeah.
said that. You know, that makes it sound like he, you know. I said, I'm sorry. I was just trying to. Of course, being the professional I am, I always figure any news is good news. Any
Well,
rumor,
that's right.
it's a good rumor, you know. So I said to myself, I'll just, feed the bears a little bit and see what happens. And it started sizzling a little bit too much before they wanted to. So I pulled back again. And then, of course, shortly after that, here comes Valiverse.
Yep.
And we have the Action Force starting up. And they didn't know, we couldn't tell them that we were already under contract with Hasbro. So,
Well, of course.
and he found out because of some friends at Hasbro that he worked with, and he wasn't real happy that G.I. Joe was going to be having Sgt Slaughter back in it. But
Yeah, right.
I kept telling him, hey, we're all the same. G.I. Joe, Action Force is the same thing, just different names. Sergeant Slammer and Sgt Slaughter. So
Right.
anyway, we're very, very happy with everything, and we've signed a multi-year contract where it could be 2-3 years.
Yes, I did hear that. That's great news.
Several different action figures we're hoping, and there's
Nice.
some other things that I still can't tell you about.
Well, we've got time. We might get it out of you yet.
It's gonna be, if you push my
Are you
arm
drinking, Dad?
Yeah.
maybe I should.
So
I don't know,
the
you might get yourself in trouble.
Yes.
I remember that virtual. I remember that virtual live signing that you were on, where you mentioned that you're going to go and talk to Hasbro. And one of the first videos I ever uploaded on my channel was is is Sergeant Slaughter getting a new G.I. Joe. So, yeah, I might have helped get that rumor out there that it was a possibility.
I'm going to have to bitch slap you when I see you.
That's fine. I'll take it. Yeah. Sorry about that.
I heard some of the rumors you were spreading out there, and I said, geez, I better pull back even more and not mention it. So Kelly and I were doing, the 40th anniversary. I asked Hasbro, okay to mention the 40th year anniversary. That's pretty well known then.
Yeah.
Said, oh, yeah, that's okay, but don't say you're going to be in it. And so Kelly and I were going, well, all we can do is hope,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Now when I go back and watch some of these videos, I'll be like, he knew the whole time.
Yeah. And they, it's like having a baby. Do you want to know if it's a boy or a girl, or do you want to be surprised? So element of surprise is what my professional career always based upon. Element of surprise when you, as I did with the Iron Sheik. And 1 hour I was on television. I was the meanest, baddest guy in the world, and next hour I'm out challenging the Iron Sheik, to a match, and that was the element of surprise that people aren't expecting. When they were up on their chairs and had their lighters going and saying the Pledge of Allegiance with me.
That's right.
That's when you get the chills, the goosebumps. I still get them today thinking about it. I'm getting them right now. And how
from heel to hero overnight.
Yeah, overnight, instant overnight. So, and boy, we'll be getting a lot of comments on the social media on this new adventure. So we're really happy. I've officially re-enlisted to G.I. Joe. So you better look out, Cobra. Better look out. You too, Kelly Remus.
So I've got to.
She'll be taking a bunch of my action figures. Anyway.
Yeah, well, I mean, speaking of action figures, I wanted to show this image. So, before I touch on that, there was another rumor that you let slip on one of these virtual signings, which was the Sergeant Slammer variant that you were going to get. You mentioned that on a live stream once. Before it was supposed to.
that was the word. That was the one I really messed up on with the Sergeant Slaughter. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, that was another one I released as well as a video. I felt bad about that one. I apologized for that one. I was like, all right, probably I went too far there. But
you'll be dealt with.
Yeah. Well, after that one, I stopped uploading those sort of spoilers because I just felt like it was ruining the surprise. I mean, it was live on a thing, but me sharing it is me adding to it. So I did apologize to Bobby for that one.
Perpetuating the rumor is what that's called.
Well, yeah, that's what I did. But so
we're all
what
guilty
I want to do
of it in one way or another. So
I'm just an excited fan.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm an excited fan. I just like talking about it. All right. So speaking of action figures, I've got this image, and this represents everything that has come out or is coming out in the last year or so. It is honestly, wow! Look at all of that. It's the new golden age of Sergeant Slaughter action figure collecting.
Yes. Yes, it is.
So we've got a couple of Action Force there, a couple of the Mattel WWF/WWE figures, and a personal favorite of mine, the Masters of the WWE Universe Sergeant Slaughter in the He-Man style. I'll tell you what.
We also touched upon the a little bit about the Mattel Sergeant Slaughter that was released a little while back with the USA on the on my chest there.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is actually some color scheme that Hasbro made for G.I. Joe. That was my first color scheme outfit, and they, I guess what was 30, 40 years later, bring out that same action figure. It's almost an LJN look-alike.
Well, that's right.
Hasbro did. Yeah,
Well,
now in the box, and I wonder if there's going to be any lawsuits over the rights to use that outfit. But I guess it's pretty universal.
well, it's come full circle because Hasbro ran with the idea of creating an LJN inspired Sergeant Slaughter, and the advertisement has your figure on top of the LJN official releases, and then Mattel then later on comes back, decades later, and they take that image and use it for their own purposes. So I mean, if you're going to do it, you got to take it as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's great. A great collage you have there. I'd love to get a copy of that.
It took me all of 2 minutes, but I'm happy to send it to you. Happy to send it to you. So
thinking that would be a great 8x10 or a poster to offer to fans of wrestling and G.I. Joe, and of course Full Force of getting their action figures all signed at one time.
This would actually be a cool picture to sign on. There's a lot of real estate there for you to sign on those. I'll update it when there's an actual official image of the sculpted action figure that Hasbro using a digital render of it. But if it looks anything like this, then I'm super stoked. The hat and the glasses, I believe, will be removable, as well as the whistle.
Yes.
That's very cool.
Oddly enough, Zazel and Kelly, when I first joined G.I. Joe, no weapons were allowed because nobody ever got shot, nobody ever died. There were no weapons. And now that's all it is weapons.
Right, yeah. You're holding a few there.
The world has changed, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
As Kelly's son, my grandson, Kelly's son, at first we tried to keep guns and things like that, BB guns and just air guns or pop
Nerf guns,
things like that away from him. But that's what he enjoyed, and as long as you learned the safety of it, it's not any different than having a fishing rod with a hook.
True.
Catch you in the back of the ear when you're casting it out. I've done that many times. But his father has taught him, the right way to fish and how to cast. And it's the same as a weapon. You just have to learn,
Well, we taught him they weren't toys, that they were weapons, because even the Nerf guns you can hurt someone with.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
If you're
we've done
too close
some damage
to somebody with a Nerf gun and you shoot them in the eyeball, I mean, you can lose an eye. Seriously, I mean, that it's happened. So we just always taught them that they were, potentially weapons, and we didn't want our 2 and 3-year-old playing with a gun. That's just not something we wanted. Enough. So we waited till he was a little bit older before he was allowed to play. But he was actually probably playing like shooting games on the Xbox before he actually had them.
Right.
So
his friends probably, he didn't know if his friends were allowed to have weapons or things like that. So you have to be.
Well, even now they don't play. They'll play with like Nerf guns and stuff like that. But when they come to play video games, unless their parents have specifically said that it's okay for them to play shooting games, they're not allowed. It's Minecraft or something like that.
Zazel being a male, a young boy, when your brother, my friends, we always played, Army, G.I. Joe, and sandboxes, and wherever we could, we were always playing Army, or playing baseball or whatever it was that day that we decided to play it. But we went full force, and of course we saw it on television with all the episodes from newscasts of the war. That were going on around us. And it was just part of life. As Kelly said, while you teach them the right way and do it the right way and let them know that it is a weapon.
That's a good point. We used to play cowboys. We used to play Army, whether it was G.I. Joe or just running around ourselves or playing with the Green Army men that we get in the buckets. And then when Nerf came out on Super Soakers and all of those sort of things, we'd run around and have Nerf wars. When my kids were younger, Kyle and Josh and Xavier, they would join us in Nerf wars, and they got pretty heated. You can upset a few people in a Nerf war, but I guess we don't have the same sort of access to firearms as you guys have over there either. So we don't really have that transition, not easily anyway.
Right, not as easy to get to, right?
Right, yeah. So it really didn't really blend in. So I don't recall ever firing an actual firearm. I fired a BB gun, but that's probably the most I've ever done, and a Nerf gun. That's it. That's all I've done. But I imagine it would be hard to keep that sort of the military play or the Nerf play out of it when you're younger, especially when your grandpa is Sgt Slaughter and he has a T-shirt on with a big tank.
Rudy, when he was younger, if you asked him, what do you want to be when you grow up, he wanted to be a soldier.
Yeah, okay.
So he was very much into it. He still is. He still is into that, and he likes any job with a weapon.
Right.
I think maybe we kind of set him up for that by not letting him have them.
Maybe, yeah.
But like SWAT, he would love to be SWAT or a cop or military. What, Dad?
What was the movie we always watched at Christmas where the kid shot his eye?
Home Alone. Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't shoot your eye out.
Don't shoot your eye out.
Yeah.
But,
I haven't seen that in a while.
Living in Minnesota, 4th of July was a big deal because my friends who were juvenile delinquents that lived out in the country where I did, they would hitch a ride somehow and get over the border to the Dakotas where they could buy fireworks, and they would bring them back, and then of course we would play G.I. Joe for real because cherry bombs and silver salutes and firecrackers, and we would set up a fort, put up our G.I. Joe guys, and boom! Half the time we almost went off on our hands, and we were living dangerously, and but that's why they played. We were country kids. We didn't know it. We lived down on the farm, out in the country. So that's what we did to entertain ourselves, basically.
Mm. Well, we lived in outback Australia for a while when I was a kid, and there's very little to do. So you start to get creative, and some of the creativity is, I would hate to think that my kids are doing any of the stuff that I did when I was that age.
Oh,
yeah.
I know. When I look at my nieces, as my nieces have grown up, I'm like, she's in 6th grade. What I was doing in 6th grade, I can't imagine her doing.
Right. Yeah.
As they've gotten older, I'm like, and I'll tell my sister, Nicole, do you know what I was doing in 9th grade? And she's like, yes, I do know exactly, but my kids don't do that.
What was that, Kelly? What were you doing in 9th grade? You want to share?
No.
She was taking her sister's car.
Oh.
Every once in a while, her sister would say, "Dad, something's going wrong with my car." I said, "What's wrong with it?" She said, "I parked it in that one spot over there. When I got up this morning, it was way over there." I said, "What? How did it get over there?" She says, "I don't know, Dad, but my car's been moving around the parking lot at the car." I said, well,
I believe it.
We didn't know that Kelly was taking the keys and going out.
How could you not know the car was moving?
I didn't know it was. I never gave her the thought because I was on the road. I was not there. I was just going by what my oldest daughter was telling me, that her car was moving without her moving.
That's hilarious.
Thanks for telling us, Dad.
Kelly, look, I've only known you a small while, but I believe it.
Thanks, Hazel.
I believe it.
Hey, I like to have fun.
You.
I can tell, yeah. So, I mean, why wouldn't you just put it back where you found it? It's not very...
Because it was, at the time, I was living with my mom and my sister in an apartment complex.
Oh, okay.
And it was not assigned parking spots.
Yeah.
So I would take the car. By the way, I was older than 9th grade, by the way. And
I still believe it's 9th grade. I believe it wholeheartedly.
My car in the 9th grade, not her sister's.
Right.
Yeah. I'm just going to stop talking.
Right. So essentially you couldn't park where you left it, so you just close enough is good enough.
Yeah, that's right. At least you got home. At least you got back.
That's right.
I mean, I put gas in it.
It was in the vicinity anyway. She didn't ever have to. My oldest daughter didn't have to call up the police and say my car is missing.
That's true. Where were you even going, Kelly? This has turned into a Grand Theft Kelly.
Let's shame Kelly for a little while here.
Hey, it's not shame, no.
We'll tell all.
That's an adventure. Yeah,
I was
nothing
going
wrong with
on
an
an
adventure.
That's exactly
right.
what I was doing. Was going on an adventure with friends. I was with a friend.
Yeah.
And we would go on an adventure.
I'm not shaming you. I think it's great. That's a good memory.
On her defense, I have to
and
tell
that is why I can't get a visa to Australia.
That explains it. That's on your record.
I'm still waiting, by the way, for that to come through.
When Kelly and her sister were old enough to steer a car, I had them on my lap, and I would control the pedals, and they would steer the car whenever we go somewhere. And then gradually, as they got older, I'd let them take a turn of going up to the parking lot at the school or whatever and just driving around the parking lot, letting them get used to the pedals. And because I always said, if there's ever an emergency, I want you to be able to drive a car if something happens to your mother or I or your sister.
That's a good point.
You know, at least to be able to.
Because that was before cell phones.
Yeah,
right.
Taught them how to start the car, how to put it in gear.
So it's your fault, Dad.
It's my fault.
Yeah.
It is my fault.
Who'd have thought that Sergeant Slaughter would be a bad influence?
Full responsibility, but I taught them both. Taught their mother to drive. I've taught both of them to drive, and I always taught them defensive driving. And knock on the wood, everything's been going pretty good.
You taught us defensive driving while going like 15 over the speed limit, but that's
and every once in a while, while they'd be driving, I go, "Oh, look, it's a deer," and they go, "Where?" And I go, "Drive on the road." I became Sergeant Slaughter all of a sudden.
Yeah. That'll snap you back to attention. So you guys have at school they teach you how to drive, right?
Yes.
There is driving school, yeah.
Right. Okay. I've often seen it on like movies and TV shows to comedic effect, but my thought was that it was just a thing that a school would offer its students, or is it a whole different thing?
So you can do programs through the high schools, or they have like separate driving schools. At least,
Gotcha.
however many years ago when I was going through all of that, that's what they had. Yeah. I don't know what they have now.
Sure.
But yeah. So I went to the school of Dad.
Right. Yeah. Florida school.
I then waited to get my license so that I wouldn't have to go to driver's ed. So I waited until I was 18.
Right.
If you go to driver's ed, you can get your license at 16. Well, you can get your permit at 15, and then you get your license at 16, and then you drive until whenever you don't have your license anymore. So I waited till I was 18, so I didn't have to do the driver's ed because it was boring. Because I already had, like, people did not know how to start the car.
Right.
And I'm like, Dad, I cannot sit in. They don't know how to start the car, Dad. Like, I can't be in. I don't even want to be in the car with them. Like, no, I'm not doing it.
That's what happened to me. I grew up driving tractors and
Right.
trucks on the farm. And, you know, I was probably 10 years old, maybe younger, driving tractors around and
Yeah.
pickup trucks. And so when it was time for me to go get my license, the insurance was cheaper if you took driver's training. So my parents said, you have to do driver's training. I said, I already know how to drive. Well, it's going to help us with your insurance, because back then, you know, insurance was really high for teenagers. Probably still is. I don't know. But so I had the same situation. A guy named Bernie, he was on our football team, and he was maybe about wasn't even 5 foot tall, but he got into the car, and the instructor said, okay, start the car up. And he goes, how do I do that? I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, back seat. We didn't have to wear seatbelts back then. In fact, I don't think the cars even had them then. But so he said, well, you put the key in the ignition, and so it took like a half hour for him just to figure out how to start the car.
I would have been getting out of the car.
Yeah. That's not a good start.
I'm not riding with that guy.
We started going down the road, and it was like, oh my God. So after about 4 or 5 lessons, we had a bridge called the graffiti bridge, and they had a stop sign on both sides, but you could almost see through it. It was kind of a crooked thing, and of course the kids never, you know, did much stopping there. So we're in the driver's training car, and Bertie comes up to the stop sign and goes right through the bridge without stopping. And of course the training cars have brakes for the
right. Yes.
So he puts the brake on and has him pull over. He said, Bernie, you just went through a stop sign. He said, oh, nobody ever stops there.
Wow.
Nobody ever stops there. He said, well, you're going to stop there. That was kind of a fun thing. Then he
no cop, no stop.
You're right.
Right.
We get on the highway, and he's got to cross. We're teaching us how to cross the highway and take a left turn, you know, with traffic coming on the left. So he sees that it's okay, and he floors it. And we had rubber going up the hill.
Oh man. Jeez.
Yeah, fun times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have been like, can you just stop the car? I'm going to get out and I'll walk the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Safe.
Well, Kelly went for a driver's test, and they were gone for about 2 minutes, and they came back. I said, uh-oh, she did something wrong. I said, what happened? She said, nothing. I already passed. I said, what? He said the instructor saw that how I was driving. She said, go ahead, go back. You passed.
Well, you'd been driving since 9th grade.
I was
drove
such a
down
proud
the street, did a 3-point turn, and drove back. That's all we did. I was like, okay.
We had a lot of experience.
I did.
From 9th grade onwards, a lot of experience. Yeah.
Probably earlier than that, actually. Like going back to.
Oh, so now it's earlier than that. You were trying to say that it was later than that. Now we're going well back.
I hope your mother.
Rudy and Cora, I hope they're not watching this episode.
I'm going to have her mother.
Never do anything like that.
Oh.
Diane, I told you.
Mm-hmm. The truth comes out.
I mean, I never left the driveway.
Right. All right. So I've got with me this gigantic box that was sent to me by you guys. I'm going to go through that. Sarge is very excited.
I am so excited for you to open this, Hazel. It was so fun to put together and to get all the American snacks and treats and everything for you to be able to try.
You're not supposed to tell him.
He knows.
I know some of it.
No, he doesn't know everything that's in there, but he knows there's snacks.
He knows about the snacks.
I know. Is there something else in here that I need to be aware of?
Just don't look at the customs form because I had to fill it out. And put it in
okay.
Did you keep that Cobra snake in there that I put in there?
Hey, actually, that's a good question. Now I don't actually suspect that there's a snake in here, but the Cobra core. So if you could, while I'm opening up this box, could you give me just a little history on the Cobra core? Because I think that's pretty wild that you used to wear Cobra down the side of your wrestling attire, and then later on go to fight Cobra as a terrorist organization. So I'll dive into this, and you
That's
tell
a
me that
great
story.
question, Zazel.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
I definitely started the Cobra Clutch, and as I said earlier, when I went up against the Iron Sheik, Vince McMahon, the owner of the WWE and the WWF, the WWE, decided that he wanted to start the Cobra Core. So that's what we started calling it, the Cobra Core. And after all I won't go through the whole thing, but when we had our falling out, we went to court and everything. For him, he thought he owned Sgt Slaughter, but he didn't.
Right.
And, so he came away with the Cobra Core, so he owns that. So I can say it, but I can't promote it. I can't, make things that say Sgt Slaughter's Cobra Core. He can if he wants.
Right. Yeah.
So I just call it the Cobra Clutch Club now.
Okay.
When I put fans and people in a Cobra Clutch, I always tell them that they're going to become a member of the Cobra Clutch Club. And so we have a lot of fun with that. So that's what we call it now. But
well, I hope to join that club one day. One day, get myself into a Cobra Clutch.
Right. He actually had something in Latin or however the language is put on these. It was like a emblem, and it said something like "Semper Fidelis," that type of thing. But it wasn't spelt in English. It was very authentic, and unfortunately, we didn't get to run with it too much. We had a little run with it with the whistles and all the memorabilia that came with being in the Cobra Core. But you got flags and you got a cartridge belt and things like that. T-shirts.
And I believe you had to pledge, do the Pledge of Allegiance, to be an official member.
Sgt Slaughter Cobra Core. It was kind of like a G.I. Joe, actually, is what it actually was.
Yeah, like early. That's probably why they thought, why Hasbro thought you'd be a great fit.
Yeah.
For G.I. Joe.
Going and getting a call to come to talk to Hasbro and become a member of the first living G.I. Joe ever.
Yep.
And having the Cobra Clutch and the enemy was Cobra. I mean, it was couldn't work any better. I never looked.
That's right.
1975 when I started using the Cobra Clutch, I never would have dreamed that I was going to be in G.I. Joe fighting Cobra.
Right.
No idea. But that's the way things happen.
Well, I mean, it's like I said before, it's a great coincidence that worked out.
Yes.
And part of that, I guess, would have been Hasbro thinking that you would be a great fit. I mean, the gimmick already is a great fit for G.I. Joe, and I guess the rest of it sort of helped seal the deal. And plus, you became probably one of the biggest faces in the history of wrestling by coming out and doing the Pledge of Allegiance, which is a great inclusive way to get the fans behind you. I know that there were moments where you would bring children onto stage and they'd do not onto the stage, into the ring rather, and do the Pledge of Allegiance there too.
I got to do it once. Or
did you?
Many times, but yeah.
I wonder if there's any of you.
It's all pretty much ad lib, We none of that was rehearsed that I did with the Iron Sheik.
Right.
You probably talked about it a few times on your podcast, this podcast, but it was something. I was on my second term of duty, second tour of duty with the WWF at that time. Vince McMahon's father still owned it, and he would always invite you out. Special people he would invite out to have dinner, and you sit at the bar and have a few drinks. and talk about the business and each other. And so I had come back for the first television, and back then we used to do 3 shows in one night, tape them all, and then you go out for dinner, and then the next night you do 3 more at another place. And so as we were sitting at a bar after we had dinner, Mr. McMahon's father kept saying, "Sergeant," he always called me Sergeant. "Sergeant, it's so good to have you back. So good to have you back. The greatest villain of all time. You're the best." And so I said, "Well, thank you very much. Good to be back." And he said, "You haven't lost a beat. They still hate you. They hate you even more. Blah blah blah." So I said, "Well, Mr. McMahon, if you think I'm such a great villain, you ought to see me as a hero." And he went, "What? Sergeant, a hero? No, Sergeant Slaughter can't be a hero." I said,
"Right,
yeah, he can't." No, he can't. You can never ever take that character and make it into a hero. And then he stopped and he said, "But what's your idea?" I said, "Well, you got the Iron Sheik here from Iran, and I'm United States, Marine Corps, and we never really got a payback to Ayatollah Khomeini. Never got to punch him right in the nose for all he did. The hostage situation, killing of the Marines at the embassy, and the Black Hawks going down, and everything that was involved in it all." I said, we never got to punch him in the nose. And what a great opportunity for Sergeant Slaughter to bring the cavalry and take on the Iron Sheik. And he's like, his mouth is dropped open. He's like, yeah. And then he kind of went out of he was kind of mesmerized. I had him hypnotized, And he goes, no, you can't do that. That's a good storyline, but Sergeant Slaughter can never be a hero. And I look over his shoulder, and there his son is, our boss of today, of course. And he's going, "Yeah, I love it. I like that." And Mr. McMahon turns around and he goes, "Vinny, don't you do it. Don't you turn the sergeant into a hero. I won't let you do it." And so we go through another 3 weeks of working on the road and come back where we were 3 weeks later to do 3 more television. So I go out, I'm the bad villain. I'm doing everybody's hating me and spitting on me and kicking me and yelling at me and throwing stuff at me. And second hour, I do a promo, a little bit of a promo, getting people more mad at me. And the Iron Sheik was on the same show, and he has a wrestling match, and he has a promo. Then his last match, he has 1 more match. I'm not even scheduled to be on the 3rd hour. I'm taking my fatigues off, my camouflage outfit, got my combat boot almost off, getting ready to take a shower. And all of a sudden, here comes Vince McMahon, our boss of today, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, I should say. Vincent Kennedy McMahon. If I call him Junior, I'll probably get a letter. I'll probably get a phone call. But, so anyway, he comes in, and we're about to start the 3rd hour. And he said, "Are you ready?" And I said, "Ready? I was born ready." He goes, No, I'm done. "Are you ready to do it?" And I said, "Do what?" He goes, "What you told my dad a couple of weeks ago." "What do you mean?" He said, "About going up against the Iron Sheik and doing the hero thing." I said, "Yeah, you want to do it?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "When?" He goes, "Now, right now."
Wow.
Iron Sheik's going out to wrestle this guy, Eddie Gilbert. And after he gets done beating him half to death, I want you to go out and challenge him to a match. I said, "Right now?" He said, "Right now." So I'm looking at the monitor. I got to put my boot back on, and I can't find my campaign cover because whoever brought our stuff back put it somewhere, and I can't find it. And I only got 5 minutes to do all this. So as Vince McMahon goes to leave, he turns back to me and he said, "And Sarge, give me your best George Patton promo." Okay, yeah. Who's got time to think about, a promo when you're trying to find your boot and
That's
put
right.
your boot on and you're trying to find your campaign gear. So I'm thinking about what I want to say. I put my boots back on and now I'm watching the mine. Now the Iron Sheik goes out and he goes out to the ring and here comes Vince again. Well, maybe he changed his mind. He said, and just so you know, the Iron Sheik and Fred Blassie, we call them the Ayatollah Blassie, they don't know you're doing this. We're doing this. The only people that know is you, me, and the guy in the truck, because he's going to cue up your music when it's time.
Right.
Said, oh, okay. So I'm watching the monitor, and the Sheik beats up this guy, Eddie Gilbert, pretty bad. They get a stretcher out for him, and he keeps knocking him off the stretcher, and all of a sudden my music plays, the Marine Corps hymn. And I'm watching the monitor, and I can read Fred Blassie's lips and the Iron Sheik's lips, and they go, wrong music. Wrong music. They're saying wrong music. They're playing the wrong music.
Yeah.
Thinking, well, they'll probably just edit it, So here I come. And the people were like, what is going on here? They didn't know what was happening. And I come out and I blow my whistle and I'm ready to go to war, and I start yelling at the Iron Sheik, and he doesn't know what I'm doing. And Fred Blassie, being the pro that he was, he knew something was up, but he didn't know what it was. So he gets him out of the ring and starts, we're like facing off nose to nose with each other. And I got all I have now is a baseball cap on with a emblem that I wore it into the arena. So I'm out there. I make sure Eddie's okay. I get him out of the ring, and then I grab the microphone. Now I'm going to do my George Patton. All right, I'm declaring war on you, Iron Sheik, and the people are cheering and yeah, it's about time. Blah, blah, blah. And so I said, Iron Sheik, there's some things that I've done since I was a little boy at school, and the Cub Scouts and the Boy Scouts and the Marine Corps, and I put my hand on my heart and I started doing the Pledge of Allegiance. Well, those people jumped up on their chairs and they got their lighters in the air.
Yeah.
And we have just talked about it. And it was the most incredible movement of going from the villain to a hero in 5 minutes. I mean, it was mind-boggling. The place was in pandemonium.
I bet.
It was hard to get back to the dressing room. They were like jumping over the railings and jumping on top of me and going crazy. I get back in. The Sheik had already left. He didn't know what was happening, so he left. And I come in and Fred Blassie's just like shaking his head at me. Why didn't you tell us this? I said, I didn't know. So then here comes my boss. He jumps, grabs me around the waist and lifts me up. He said, "That's the greatest thing that's ever happened." And I said, "Well, I'll tell you what. You show me your side of the business. I'll show you our side of the business. And you'll be farting through silk the rest of your life." And, so that's how it all began, And so that was where the Cobra clutch really came into very popular in a hurry, because I would get it on the Iron Sheik, and then people were just, they loved it. So the element of surprise is what, it's always the big thing in our business, element of surprise.
And you would always, before you did a Cobra clutch, you'd always sort of give like a suggestion that you're about to put the move on someone.
Well, I created the Slaughter cannon.
Yeah.
It was a form of a clothesline, but I would leap off the second rope. And I would stand up on the second rope and I would load it.
Yep.
My elbow and then I would dive off it. I always did mine left-handed. So it would be different than everybody else's. And coming off the second rope was different. So I thought, well, I might as well do everything different than everybody else. So I did a clothesline from the second rope as a Slaughter cannon. And then I would wait for them to get up. And sometimes I didn't have to wait. They were out. They were cannon, so I just pinned them. But I always wanted to get that Cobra clutch because that's what the people really wanted to see was that Cobra.
Oh yeah.
So it was funny. We came through customs one time in from Europe, someplace. It might have even been Australia. And the custom guy says to me, "You have anything to declare?" And I looked back at all the wrestlers and I said, "Just the Slaughter cannon and the Cobra clutch." And all the wrestlers were laughing. They said, you're gonna end up in jail if you don't.
Yeah. You couldn't say that these days if you go through the airport.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how did the
Yeah.
customs agent act when you did that?
Probably won't work today.
No.
Go
So
ahead.
speaking
open
of
up your
customs,
Yes.
Zabel, that had to go through customs, that package.
Oh. Okay. Well,
Yep.
it's
Go ahead.
There's not a Slaughter cannon in it.
No.
is there a snake? Is there a Cobra clutch? I'll take a Cobra clutch over a Cobra cannon. I don't think I'd get up after a
You always
Cobra
have
cannon.
a Cobra clutch coming.
Oh, well, good.
Might not always be in the mail.
Right. You'll never know when it's coming.
Exactly.
When it's least
Right.
expected.
Exactly.
So I'm a little nervous about you opening this, Basil, because instead of what I should have done
Right.
is send you little individual packs of chips. But instead, I sent like the big full-size bags. So it took up a lot of room. So there was stuff that I couldn't send you because I didn't have the space. So you might have another package coming. But anyway, so I'm a little worried it was packed so tight that the chip bags busted open.
We are going to find out together.
Let's find out.
We call those samples. All right.
Drum
well,
roll.
first of all, what's that?
roll.
Drum roll.
Drum
Yes.
roll.
Well, I mean, I've got it open. I want to thank you for sending this out to me. It was a very nice gesture. I can see already just taking off the. Now, off the top, I want to say this is actually. It's funny that you mention it. Baby Ruth.
Baby Ruth.
I was just having a conversation with a work colleague yesterday about the movie The Goonies and how Baby Ruth is featured in that. And I was like, I've always wanted to try a Baby Ruth, but you can't get him here. And now we have a Baby Ruth. That is amazing. What are the odds of that? What are the odds of that? Talking about it, and we have
I'm
one.
Psychic.
That is amazing. Tootsie Rolls. These are my mum's favorite. Shout out to my mum. Hi, mum.
You can't get those in Australia?
Hi, Mr.
My mum used to get them sent to her by an American friend, and if we were lucky, we might out of a bag we might get one or two because she loves them so much.
Has she ever?
They are delicious.
Has she ever had the Tootsie Roll Pops?
Yes, she did have those. She had those sent to her too. It was. Yeah. Well, I'm
Which is
looking
your favorite flavor, Dad?
Chocolate.
The chocolate.
Oh, they got different flavors, do they?
Mm-hmm. Well, keep looking in your package.
Okay.
Maybe.
Right. Oh, I do want to before I forget. I do want to give a quick shout out to Space Commander Sarge. He's always saying that he appreciates the fact that you say full force as well as Yojo because he's over in the UK, but.
He's in space above the UK.
Right. Originally from the UK, now up in a space station. That's right.
Hi, Space Commander. Almond Joys.
Hi, Space Commander.
Are my favorite.
Are they Almond Joys?
Yes.
All right. So far, I can honestly say I've only ever had. I see some loose chips in here.
Oh no.
That's all right. That's my nickname, Butterfinger. I'm always dropping stuff. Oh, here we are. Tootsie Roll Pops.
There they
Tootsie
are.
Pops.
I didn't know they were in there. Really? I didn't even know those were in.
My favorite is the grape, and then cherry, and then chocolate, and then orange.
Yep. They have orange also.
And Zazel, I don't know if you know this, but and I have no idea if this is true, but this is what all of us kids said. Back in the day when we would eat our Tootsie Pops, when you open the wrapper and you look at it, there's a bunch of different like scenes, kids playing and stuff like that. Well, there's a Native American with the chief hat, with the feathers, shooting an arrow, a bow and arrow, but he's shooting a star.
Okay.
And he's not on every wrapper. So what we were always told, or what we always thought, was that if you had that on your wrapper, it had to be the full thing. You had to have the star and the full bow and arrow in his whole body. You could take it into the store and get a free one.
Wow.
Get a free Tootsie Pop.
And you were never able to do that?
I think I did it one time, and it was at the little market where we lived in Connecticut, and I think they probably just did it because it was
it's hard to say no to you, Kelly.
And
Yeah.
at the time, they were like 25 cents a piece. I mean, it's not like they were a lot of money, so they were like, "Sure, kid, you can have one."
We have a place called the Dairy Queen.
Right. Yeah.
Ice cream place. And they used to have a dilly bar. They still do.
A what? Sorry.
Dilly bar.
Dilly bar. It's a vanilla ice cream frozen, and then they put a chocolate topping on it.
Coating.
It freezes.
Candy coating.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Get done eating it. If you have dilly on the stick, you take the stick back and you get a free dilly bar. That was a way to promote and to try to sell as many as they could. Because if
what's a dilly?
You had that on your stick.
What the dillio?
Yeah. What's a dillio?
Now you know.
And
I do know. I don't know what a dilly is yet. I know of it. I don't know what it is. I'll look it up.
Also one of my favorites.
Yeah, Reese's.
Now, don't you have those there? But the chocolate is different or something. I read.
I don't think I've ever had one. Regardless, I do know.
Might be dark chocolate.
So Reese's cups, peanut butter cups. Yeah. I craved when I was pregnant with my son. One of my pregnancy cravings was anything peanut butter and chocolate. So I ate a lot of Reese's peanut butter cups.
Well, it's so convenient. It's right there together. Yeah.
And it being a pregnancy craving, like I had to eat them. So
I'm Kelly, do you have your new shirt on?
Huh?
I can't. Oh, you do. All right. Nice. I like it.
Yeah, it's a good shirt.
Thanks.
$100,000.
Oh,
$100,000. Those are I should have kept some for myself.
Well, I appreciate you sending me $100,000.
You're welcome. You can pay me back sometime.
Perfect. I owe you one. Pop-Tarts.
Yes.
Frosted cherry,
my favorite kind. And then I sent you like a interesting different flavor that we like aren't. Yeah.
Frosted s'mores. So we went camping recently, and s'mores aren't really something that traditionally we do. In fact, the only way I'd ever known about it was because you watch movies like I think Stand By Me might have had the s'mores in it. But American movies would always have it, and I was like thinking to myself, what the hell are these s'mores? What are they? I only figured out recently what they that essentially it's that. So we did give it a good go, but I think practice makes perfect. I think.
Well, I will. So since I have to send you another package, I will send you the correct graham crackers to use with s'mores and the chocolate and the marshmallow. I'll send you everything. So it's a traditional American s'more.
I would appreciate that.
And you have to, if you eat them the way I do, I put peanut butter on.
All right, of course you have to, right?
Graham crackers.
Smooth or crunchy?
Smooth.
Yeah.
And then I burn the marshmallow.
Yeah. I like them burnt. Yeah. I was when we were camping. I was definitely overcooking my marshmallows. It went black on the outside, but so good.
So good.
I've got no idea what this is.
Chex Mix. So it's just like a little snacky snack, and the flavor that I sent you, they have different flavors, but that one's. I'm sending all my faves.
Bold Party Blend Savory Chex Mix.
Yes.
Literally
there's a whole bunch of stuff in there. And you see that 704 sticker?
Yeah.
So that is a local company to Charlotte, North Carolina. And so 704 is our area code for our phone numbers for Charlotte. So like my phone number starts with 704.
What's the rest of it?
It's just a cool 7048. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
So I actually remember my phone number from when I was a little girl.
Wow.
I can't tell you what I ate yesterday, but I can give you my phone number. I had my own phone line when I was a little girl. So that is just a bunch of different snacks and treats and things because I had to take it out of the box to fit it.
I see an American version of a this camera Kinder.
Yeah, I sent you an American Kinder egg so you would know the difference because you guys have the fun ones.
I'll tell you what I'm not going to be doing is losing any weight anytime soon. I do see. Hang on. Ignore the
chips.
crumbs. But
was that the voodoo chips that busted open? Taste them. Are they spicy?
They're definitely. They don't feel as crunchy as they probably should be, but.
Darn.
That's my first t-shirt.
So I designed that shirt.
Yes.
Did you really?
Let me tell you about that shirt.
Yes, please.
So for my dad, when he turned 60, he was attending my wedding pretty much. So he didn't get a party because we had to pay for my wedding or me and my husband's wedding, I should say. And so when he was turning 65, we wanted to do a fun thing for him. So we did a surprise party. Now, do you have any idea how hard it is to do a surprise party for my dad?
Yeah.
Just because of his
he never shows up on time.
Right. And so we had to get people involved and everybody was coming from out of town. Anyway, so we gave those shirts out as like a party favor. And
cool.
I designed them and my cousin, my dad's niece, I told her what I wanted and she designed it and then I had them put on shirts for everyone.
Thank you so much. And
that's an original, right, Dad? That's one of the that's one of the original ones from his birthday.
Yeah,
I also see a second one.
That's out of the Slaughter vault.
Thank you very much. I honestly, sincerely, thank you both. That is now that I know. I mean, I would have loved it anyway, but now that I know there's some history behind the image as well, and I've got one here that is at ease.
Thought we'd like one of each, one signed and one to just hang out with.
To wear. One to sign, one signed, and one to wear.
I will definitely hang this up with pride. Thank you so much, guys. That is honestly and sincerely a great surprise. It's I feel like I'm part of the surprise party.
Yeah.
You are now.
Seriously, that's amazing.
We've made many more copies of them, but there's the ones that were basically at my party that were left over, I put them away for special people. So,
and this is them. This is part of the original line.
The original.
The ones that I had made.
Right. That is too kind. Thank you so much.
There's only a few of those left, so. But we wanted you to have one because you're kind of special, you know.
Oh, thanks. Stop it.
I don't want you to cry or anything.
I might. I'm not an emotional guy, but I can honestly, I feel as if there are some emotions coming out.
Yeah.
That is.
But you know, I sell them at shows.
How much do I owe you?
They've all been, duplicated and reproduced.
Right.
But that is from the vault. So that's from the Slaughter vault.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Enjoy. You well deserve
I will.
it. Well deserve it.
Well, I don't ever claim to deserve anything, but I sincerely and humbly appreciate the gift that I've been given, the history around it, coming out of the Slaughter vault, the kind words. I don't do well with compliments and those sort of. It always makes me feel a little uncomfortable. But I feel overwhelmed with joy. And if I'm not outwardly showing it, let me tell you, inside I'm screaming like a little kid, going, "This is amazing stuff." It's honestly, thank you.
Kelly and I and a few of other friends of ours, and of course her mom and Paul that was here earlier. We all feel that we've been blessed to have met you somehow. Somehow our paths crossed through virtual or however it was, and because your name was a little bit different than most, I've never heard that name before, and for that to happen on top of what you've done for Kelly and I, and we just feel like we've been blessed that these stars were all formed the right way one day or one night, and here we are. Yeah, we're just happy, blessed.
Thank you very much. It's words are escaping me. It's I feel like I'm the blessed one. It was honestly it was always a joy spending time with Kelly, and she's become a very, very good friend of mine. And so I'm glad that we've crossed paths and been able to have a conversation with my childhood hero and get to know him as a person outside of the gimmick is also, meeting Mr. Remus as opposed to Sergeant Slaughter has also been a blessing and a joy for me. But thank you very much. Thanks to Paul as well. Do pass on my thank you to Paul for those kind words.
Yep.
I'm getting choked up. Kids, I'm getting choked up.
Well, how about you keep opening?
Okay, yeah, I can see there's. I'm getting to. What do we have here?
So that
Carolina
is barbecue
Fleet
sauce. Now I know you're not a big cook, but
No.
I hope your wife cooks. Does your wife cook?
She does 99% of the cooking in this house, and the other percentage is me ordering out.
Okay. So that's barbecue sauce for like chicken, and that's Carolina barbecue sauce. So it's a little sweet, and it's one of our favorites.
Sticky Fingers Smokehouse. Is that an actual smokehouse that you can go to, or is it?
Yeah,
it is. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So hopefully you like it.
Well, I believe I will. I reckon we might even give this.
I was wondering what happened to my bottle of barbecue.
I'll have to try and get that recipe for the slaughter steak.
Kelly came up and stayed a couple of times, and I went to find my barbecue sauce, and it was gone. Now I know where it's at.
This is it. Thanks a lot.
I know. Now I know.
All right. I can see there's an open packet of Voodoo.
Oh, I'm so bummed. I knew it when I was packing them. I should have repacked it, but I knew those.
They're very good. They're still crunchy.
Are they still crunchy? Well, they're like made to be super crunchy.
One time I was on an airplane.
Spicy.
One time I was on an airplane and I bought a bag of potato chips, and I went to when it was time to have something to drink and have some potato chips. I pulled it out of my bag, and because of the altitude on the plane, it got kind of big, and I went to open it up, and it popped.
Oh no!
About 20 people around me got filtered with little tiny pieces of potato chips. They were not real happy with me.
Well,
are there grease spots all over everything now?
Yeah.
I really hope not.
There's things are wrapped in paper that have grease spots on them, but they're.
Okay. I hope it didn't go through the paper. There should be a little. Yes. Okay.
I got this
that
one.
Is white cheddar popcorn, and it is delicious.
Oh, it's popcorn. Okay. Yeah.
It's really good.
Oh, you must have been pretty good. Santa Claus has come and
Santa Kelly.
May
you better watch out. She might run you over. She's driving. Onion flavored rings.
Do you like onions?
Now, this is another one of those things that you hear on American TV shows, Funyuns.
Funyuns.
And I've always wondered about them. Same with Twinkies. Twinkies we've finally gotten in America. Some of this stuff we've started to get from America. Funyuns are one of those ones that I haven't ever tried, and I'm interested to know what they're like. Do you recommend them, or is this one of those gag ones where
I like them, but I like onion. So it's like crunchy onion rings. So if you don't like onion, you're not gonna like them.
No, I like food, Kelly.
Okay.
I put
Well,
them
then you
on
will
my
love them.
hamburgers. I actually put them on my hamburgers.
And
Really?
I believe Funyuns is like a Southern thing. Like I'm not 100%, but I don't think you like can get them up north of America, like of the U.S. I think it's a Southern thing. Same with the voodoo chips. You might be able to get them everywhere, the voodoo chips, but those are made in Louisiana.
And
Mike and Ike's.
Mike and Ike.
Okay,
Mike and Ike.
so those like at the movies. That's like a movie theater box. You take it to the movies, and that's one of my movie candies that I eat.
Is it
I
it's a
eat them
chewy
really
one?
weird. Huh?
No, go on. They're chewy. I can see.
So,
Yeah. What do you do
I
with them?
eat them really weird.
Yeah.
So in the movie theater, it's hard for me to eat them because it's dark in there, so I have to like hold them up. But I go by color. So
Well,
I eat the
what do
green
you?
ones first. I get a handful of them, right? And
Lime.
I eat all the green ones because those are my least favorite. So I eat that first, and then I eat the orange ones because those are my second least favorite.
Okay.
And then I separate the cherry and the lemon and the strawberry, and I will make strawberry lemonade or cherry lemonade.
Okay.
One and one together. Yeah.
I will try that. We'll do another recording where we eat it like Kelly does.
Yeah.
I'll try and do. I can see there's boxes in here that are wrapped individually.
There should be a little thing of spice in there before you do the boxes.
Okay, give me one moment, and I'll.
Think of a damn box.
It might be covered with chips.
Okay, is it this thing maybe?
Oh, you know what? Okay, you can open that. No, it was in. Never mind, because it was.
It's in the little bag.
Yeah, it's in the Ziploc
bag of stuff.
But that spice that I sent you, it's called Chicago.
I know that's the Jay Leno inspired signature.
That inspired me. Yes.
That was a great. So I should open this one.
Yes.
So while you open it, the spice I sent you is good for steak and burgers.
Okay.
I just received something that goes with that, and we'll have to send it to you separately. There it is.
That's great.
I have the straw. I just got them. So they arrived after the package was sent, unfortunately.
Well, and signed and everything. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
It would be handy if it had a straw, but I'll make do.
That's okay. Just, do the best you can.
All
right. Is that another spicy one?
They're very tasty, though.
They are good.
Kelly and her sister really used to do that to me, Hazel.
We would tell them.
Yeah. We were driving down the road.
One time we gave them there was this candy store in the mall, and they had these gumballs that were like this most sour gumballs I've ever had in my life. And so I was like, "Here, Dad, you want one?" And me and my sister are like, and he's like, "Is it sour?" And we're like, "No, it's not sour at all." It was maybe 2 seconds. He had it in his mouth, and he went to spit it out the window, but the window was rolled up.
Oh, I couldn't see you drive. My eyes were like, "Oh my God, what is it?"
That's so good.
I was puckered up. I couldn't even see. I was like, "Oh my God!"
Just imagine spitting it out the window and back again. That's really spicy. Wow.
Really spicy.
All right, so
should have known better.
I'm getting all emotional again.
Should have known better. I used to do that to The Rock, when he was a little boy. I'd take sour candy and I'd take the wrappers and I'd take the real candy out and put the sour ones in there. And he would put them in his mouth, and he was such a polite kid, he would spit it out.
So did Kelly give you the idea for that, or did you give Kelly the idea?
I think I gave her the idea. I'll tell you.
Generational, yeah.
He was the jokester doing all that stuff because he thought it was funny. And so I
like
just
keeping a straw when he sends me a cup. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a prankster.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so I'm up to. It looks like everything else is wrapped.
Okay.
Is there any order in which these are going to
Nope,
come
just
unwrapped?
start. Anywhere.
All right.
I really hope that the grease stains didn't go through the paper.
Oh, hello. Full force. It's time for action.
It's time for action.
That is amazing. Thank you very much. I'll put that one on display. I don't have a signed. That's really spicy.
I asked Kelly, I don't know what Zazel has. She said, well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They're all being signed, so.
Oh, well, I mean, I appreciate anything, whether, I appreciate any gift that's given to me, regardless of whether or not I've already got one. I remember one birthday, I'm going off topic, but I remember one birthday I had an aunt and a friend at a birthday both gift me the same action figure, and it was the thought behind it that, not the fact that I already had one, but that I was, given a gift by somebody is more important than. I'm rambling on and my mouth is really burning. But thank you. I do not have a signed one, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much. But when you're collecting 777 Sgt Slaughters, any one adds to the numbers.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Now that's the original one. That's the first one.
Yes.
As you can tell on the side of the box.
We're waiting on. Holy shit.
That's the Argentina G.I. Joe.
That is signed and in a protective case. That is too kind.
Yes.
That
the
is
story behind that, Zazel. I don't know if you can see the hand. My one hand that's looks like it's kind of deformed.
The one back there.
Yeah, the one on the right. When Hasbro got those back from the toy maker or whoever did them, said that doesn't look right. It looks like his hand's deformed. So they shipped them all over to Argentina or wherever they send them to, and they said, "Yeah, we'll take them." And they put all their logos on them and their writing. So it's if you can understand Spanish or whatever the languages that they
Argentinian
speak,
or yeah.
it's all,
right.
It's all, so it's a very kind of a one of a kind deal there. So you can't find those too often.
No, you can't. You can't find one in quite the condition that this one is in. I do have a weird one where the shirt isn't painted.
Right. You showed us that. Yeah.
But the cards on those are often warped and stuff. So that is honestly very.
Don't
very...
you have one that doesn't have a mustache or something?
Yes, I do. I have that one too.
Oh.
Without the mustache, I have to show you that one. I should have had it.
Might have all been part of that, change because of the artwork being messed up. I don't know if they just decided not to do anymore and did them differently. I'm not really sure the history behind all that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know that it's an interesting piece because it looks very close to the Triple T Sarge in the picture. But the picture itself shows Triple T Sarge essentially, but the action figure is using parts from the mail away,
right,
and not the Triple T one. So we've got a man down.
Oh no!
Oh, he came out. Oh,
that's all right. That's easy to reseal. But it says Yo Joe Zazel. I can very easily put the bubble back on there.
That'll be fine.
But that just gives me an excuse to have a play around with it first before I do.
There you go.
So Zazel, that one is mine.
Is it? Is that this? No.
Yeah. So that's mine, and I told Dad that I would give it to you if he had another one for me.
Okay, so he has another one for you?
Yes, but
Oh,
that is mine. Yeah.
well, I appreciate that. That's
You're
that's
welcome.
twice as awesome. Then I've got a Kelly collectible
So that's
signed
the
by
one I
Sarge.
held up.
Yes, I do remember.
That's the size matters one.
That's right. And I do remember asking if I could have it, and now I feel
Yes.
guilty because now I do.
You do.
I've got 2 more boxes, but I'm conscious of the time because we're going to record an episode for Kelly, part 2 over on Kelly's channel.
Yes.
Hey, it's time for action.
That's the new one.
That is the new. I do not have one of these yet, so this is my first.
You do now.
And now you know.
Now you know.
That's awesome. I will show that one off on the channel as well. Oh, that's great. And I'm still not finished. I've got a few more in here. 2 more to go. Already, this is a lot of stuff. I appreciate that there's so
Well,
far
now you know
everything.
why I couldn't fit everything in the box. I was like, wow,
That's right.
I'm not going to be able to fit everything in here now.
We appreciate you.
Yes, we do.
Well, I'm feeling it, and yeah, I am honestly. What do they say? That my heart grew 10 times that day.
How about that? That was a tough time for the Sgt Slaughter fans when I came back out of G.I. Joe, and Vince McMahon wanted to get me killed.
Right. So one day, Sarge, I would love to be able to have an actual deep dive into this this gimmick, because when I was younger, I was being a Joe fan, and then later finding out the Iraqi sympathizer thing. I didn't understand it, but now having heard some of the backstory behind it, going through the promos, understanding that you put everything into it. And the amount of then the amount of heat that you guys got, the personal side of things, it's often regarded as a controversial turn. But knowing what I know now, I actually have a deeper appreciation for it. Understanding the human element behind that gimmick and how it went into your lives and impacted you both. Yeah, I shared a screenshot with Kelly today of when you guys are talking about the sympathizer gimmick, and she doesn't look impressed talking about it.
Well, it was rough on everybody, and when I was given the opportunity to do it, I don't go halfway; I go full force.
That's right. Yeah.
So I was given full reins, and we didn't have scripts, we just did everything. And Vince McMahon said, if you go too far overboard, I'll pull you back. And that's where we went with it. And of course, when the war started, we pulled back out of it because lives were being lost. And that wasn't funny. So we were trying to tongue-in-cheek have some fun, but
sure,
not make it anything harsh. You have to do some things. We'll get into it we could do a whole program on it.
I've got so many things I'd like to talk about with it that I'd love to get back together with Kelly as well, because it's she's part of it. She's part of it.
Right.
We
very
can do
deeply.
another two-parter.
Perfect. Let's do it.
Okay.
Last but not least, guys.
Ta-da!
Excuse my language, but holy shit!
Yay!
Sgt Slammer. Not
That
too many people have one of those.
No.
I think they only made 500 of those.
Correct.
All I say is full force and Yo Joe. I don't know all the history behind everything.
That is great, guys. Thank you very much. I mean, it's all. I'm hard pressed to pick a best of the bunch. I can tell you the spiciest of the bunch so far.
The voodoo chips.
I'm still feeling it, but they're very tasty.
We're just hoping that we're hoping it brings down that 770 down a little bit.
It's definitely.
Do you have now?
I think I'm probably around the 350-ish.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm closer to 4 than I am to 300. Closer to 400 than I am to 300 from last. But I haven't included. I've got in the background there some of your other figures. I haven't included those in the count yet. So these will go towards that count as well. And I mean, it's my mind is blown. If you think of that emoji with the mind blown, that's me right now. This is a lot.
This has been like a show and tell.
It has. It's like Christmas. Christmas has come early. My birthday's come early. This is a lot, and I'm sincerely and honestly very, 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 very thankful and grateful for all of this stuff. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to feel. I feel everything all at once. And if it's
well, it was just our way of saying thank you for everything that you've done for me and all the help that you provide me for my channel and for having me on your channel.
Well,
so you reached out to me first. You started this whole thing, so you're to blame.
That is true. But Kelly, you're gift enough. Honestly, sincerely, you're gift enough.
Thank you.
And I getting up so damn early too.
Yeah.
Yeah. The sun wasn't even up when I got up this morning. I think I've started to wake. My lighting is just because of the sun's been coming up this whole time. My lighting is all weird out.
Is that a rooster I hear crowing over there in Australia?
No, but
the sun's been coming up over there. It's been going down here.
Down here.
That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're the rooster enthusiast, Sarge. So if anyone knows, it's you. Yeah. Well, I mean,
the Remus Roost.
Right. I don't know where it was.
Oh, Paul's back.
At my door.
Uh-oh.
All right, well, we'll cut my episode there. Do jump over to Kelly's channel for part 2. We've got some great stuff lined up, so continue the conversation over there. Thank you, Kelly, for jumping on as always, and thank you,
Absolutely.
Mr. Remus, Sgt Slaughter, real American hero. Welcome back to G.I. Joe.
Thank you. Now you know.
You're dismissed.
Now you know.
Knowing is half the battle.
Yo, Joe.
You're dismissed.
As you were. Carry on.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment down below.